So this is what the battlefield looked like at the beginning of the fourth turn. In the upper right hand part of the screen, where his bolt thrower is, my fast cav lost combat, broke, so they're dead and gone, and that bolt thrower is free. And if you can imagine, you can kind of see the corner of that guy's foot. Well, they have line of sight to the side of that big unit of knights, and he lets loose a bolt that goes through and hits, easily wounds. I fail my ward save. He wounds again, I fail my ward save. He wounds again, I fail my ward save. So he takes out a full 1/3 of that knight unit, which causes a panic test, which they fail, and of course they run away from the bolt thrower and right into that unit of Ironbreakers. So whole unit gone, just gone. Oy. Luckily the other people around him turned out okay. A few minutes ago I said that 5-man unit of knights was down to 4. Apparently I just missed one, so they look like they're still good. But you also see the men-at-arms are nowhere near. They lost a few to shooting, and they panicked. I think they got shot by the organ gun, maybe the other bolt thrower, I'm not sure which. But anyway, they panicked and ran and hit the front of that big unit of Knights Errant and popped out the other side. So they all of a sudden are all the way at the other side of the board, which is just kind of funny. So that was a good shooting phase for him. So on my turn, I take... actually, the good news is, I hate using that big unit of knights, but it did get them out of the way. So my small unit of knights was able to charge into the flank of the Ironbreakers, and the Grail Knights got the charge in the front, and that was tough. I almost didn't declare the charge because I didn't think I was in range. I actually had to wheel just a little bit to get around the woods, and I hit him. I didn't clip him by any means, but I definitely was hitting the front half of that, and it was funny because I really would have preferred to charge with them and with that small Knights Errant unit that was there, but I figured the Grail Knights probably didn't have range, and Knights Errant definitely didn't. Well, when it came to it, I had plenty of room with the Grail Knights, and the Knights Errant actually had room too. And so they were taking their impetuous test, and I'm just hoping they fail it, and they passed it. So anyway, regardless, Ironbreakers are tough, but as long as I got the flank, it's about as good as I can hope for with that. You can see I got a couple of my Pegasus Knights charging that organ gun. So yeah, I hate losing that big block of knights, but I can't ask for anything more. And that battle went extremely well. I killed several of them. I think I lost one Grail Knight in the process. Broke. I restrained with my Grail Knights. I pursued with that small unit, and they overran. The problem is, the good news is I destroyed his unit of Ironbreakers. The bad news is that small unit of Knights is right in front of his Longbeards, and that's not a good position to be in. At the top of the board, my Pegasus Knights up there, apparently before they flew off the board doing something. So on this turn I could bring them back in, but they couldn't charge. So what I was doing is put them right in front of that bolt thrower, inviting him to shoot at me, because I know I'm going to charge him next turn. I couldn't charge him this turn. I don't want him shooting at anybody else on the board. So I'm inviting him to shoot at me. You're going to get at most 1 kill, and if that saves 2 or 3 knights across the table, then it's worth it to me to do that. So anyway, that's what it looks like at the end of my 4th turn. And just another angle, I took my general. He's been hiding out all game. I outfit him to be a monster killer, and he doesn't have anyone on the board that's going to take advantage of how I outfitted him. So I just don't want him to get shot and killed. So I finally moved him here. So on my next turn, I can charge his Correlers if they stay as they are. If they reform to get a stand and shoot, I probably would just move again. I'm not going to risk my general on anything he has on the board. So Dwarf turn 5. You can see at the top that he took his Longbeards, charged my Knights. I chose to flee, and I'm kind of in a bad position too, because now I'm fleeing. If he charges me with that unit of warriors at the top, I'm going to have to flee again. So, yeah, whatever. That was really as best I could hope for with him. I wasn't going to do anything else. But I am set up to do at least an easy flank charge into that unit with my Grail Knights. And even though it doesn't look like it here, I'm pretty sure I'm in range to get my BSB unit into his front. I took my lone surviving Pegasus Knight over here. I think I charged before, broke and ran, and now I rallied and I'm coming back to try to take them out. So that's where it sits with him. Brett's turn 5. We measure. I am able to get the charges off. The general charged his quarrelers and beat them in combat. I think with my 4 attacks plus 2 with my mount, I think I killed 4 or 5 guys. So I beat him pretty well, or at least enough that he broke. And that was my overrun right there. This is at the top right of the board where I invited him to shoot at me. He shot at me, and I think he missed. And so now we're charging that organ gun, trying to get some revenge for the unit of knights that thing killed. And this is the other side of the board with my lone Pegasus Knight charging that unit, and this one did not go well. That was a pretty good picture right there. So at the end of fighting, you can see that I've taken just a lot of his guys off the table. He's killed 1 of my Knights Errant. My Grail Knights are hurting a little bit, but he's hurting a lot more. You can also see that the upper left-hand side of the board, my Knights did rally, and there's really nothing I could do with them, so I just faced the Dwarfs. If he charges me, I'm probably going to flee and hope to rally on my last turn. And my general's close enough, I'll be able to use his leadership, so that's kind of what I was thinking. If you look at my my big unit of Knights, we beat that Dwarf unit so badly that they fled in that direction, pursued, and took me into combat with his runesmith. And you can also see the Pegasus Knight. Yes, he was in the group that had killed the organ gun. He went and attacked the bolt thrower all by his lonesome, and he got smacked down pretty good, so he's just running away. Dwarf's turn 6, you can see at the top, we're still locked in combat with the bolt thrower. His warriors charge my knights. I chose to flee again. I don't see any point in getting that unit decimated, and my general's nearby. I think I can, on my turn 6, I think I can rally him. In combat with the runesmith, gonna destroy him pretty easily. And that's what happens. Do my overrun. So now the game's wrapping up pretty quickly. It's my turn. There's nobody I can charge. It's worth charging, so I rally my knights. You can see the bolt thrower's dead. I think I was at the stage where I was going to lob a stone at his warriors just for the fun of it, but the game was in hand, and he said he would give me the full points for the massacre and just call it then, because we had a long day ahead of us and there's no need to keep on going. So we called it. It was a very convincing win for the Bretonnians. I mean, the same thing. Dwarfs don't have any mobility. I've got a ton, especially the way I build my army. So being able to get those flank charges really saved the day. So that's the game 1 of the tournament. Dominant win for the Bretonnians. So that means my next game is going to go against whoever else had a pretty convincing win. So we'll have to see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.